Hello everybody, how's it going, and welcome to a Rambler video, the second one in a row. Oh my goodness, I know, it's terrible and terrifying. But I am working on a review, so this kind of gives me, a little bit more time to work on that, so whoopee. I won't tell you what game it is, I'll just spoil it, but basically, kind of a comment on one of my much older videos that I wanted to talk about, and I mean, quite a bit older. This was a video published in September of 2014, so a year and a half-ish. Okay, so not that old, but old enough, where I don't get a lot of views and stuff. Most of the videos don't get much traction after the first, month or two, so, and it's not like I expect anything to pick up any traction. The only reason this video even has any views, I think, too, is just because it's featuring my buddy NitroRat, who has, like, almost 10k subs, so there are actually people searching his name, and he actually comes up in feeds and stuff, and it's interesting, so hooray for NitroRat's feature, because now that video has, like, 500 views or something like that. But anyway, so a guy commented on it, Gameplay shares his YouTube. He's got, like, 5k subs, gets, some views. And so he commented on this. I recognize the name. I think he's commented on something before, but I don't remember. But anyway, he commented on the review for Dusk 12. Dusk 12 is quite an older game. It was released on Steam. I literally couldn't play it. If you want to watch that review, I will put a link in the description. Now, so the comment that he commented was, and I'll do direct quote, I'll put it on the screen, I'll get a screen cap of it as well. Steam became toilet because of indie crap. Now, in this review, I basically say Steam is now a dumping ground for awful, terrible games that don't fucking work, and that these games are awful, and this kind of stuff. And this game, I never got running, it crashed on me multiple times, which is why I said this. So he's responding to that. Steam became toilet because of indie crap. Okay. Older games are not a problem, but the users are. They are trying to run old games on Windows 7 or even Windows 10. I have 7, for example. And those games are designed for XP or older dual boot systems. XP 32-bit plus whatever. If you play it on these older operating systems, it makes 95% of old games run perfectly. Now, the thing I kind of had issue with was, first of all, this very first sentence, the whole Steam crap thing. Is it toilet jumping? I know I said that a year and a half ago, but I kind of want to revert, change a little bit of what I said, simply because Steam is not a dumping ground for indie games. It's a dumping ground for shit. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't consider indie games and stuff to be this shit. I consider indie games to be decent games made by a developer who couldn't either get a big mainstream publisher or didn't want one because they wanted creative freedom. Now, essentially, anybody releasing stuff like Uncrowded, for example, are just con artists. They're not game developers. They're complete con artists. They're not an indie developer. There are some shitty indie games, but those generally are devs that did try, at the very, very least, and you can kind of tell that they tried, right? They're not just Unit Z rehashed or broken messes, or like the game I'm actually doing, bit of a spoiler, is awful, that I'm reviewing right now. And there's nothing to it. It's fucking terrible. But anyway, so the thing is with these older games and stuff is I don't think it's the user's problem at all. I think the users have more than a right to complain like this, and the simple fact of it is, if an older game wants to come onto Steam, say, like I think System Shock 2 and stuff is all on Steam, which is an amazing game and whatnot, then if they want to release onto Steam, kind of two options here really to try and, stem the whole issue. The first option would be for Steam to require whoever has the rights to these older games, whoever is releasing these older games onto Steam, like System Shock 2 or like Dust 12, for example, that they have to make sure, and it would be tested, that these games are optimized for modern operating systems, because there are people that want to try these old games and stuff that hear about them that have modern systems and just don't have XP or older anymore and want to try these games out. Now, Steam is a modern PC gaming platform, so it's fair to expect a game to work on a Windows 7 system. Windows 10 is a different story. It's beta still and a bit of a mess, but it should work on Windows 7, Windows 8, definitely. So they should kind of require developers to optimize it for these systems and then have Steam test it before it gets released. So that's one way I think of doing it. The second way would be Steam labeling these games. So essentially what I'm saying is either creating a separate category that they would go in, like how early access and greenlight and stuff is now, that says these are older games, they're not going to run on modern systems, they're going to run on like XP or whatever. I'm pretty sure anything being released onto Steam, if it plays only on something earlier than XP, it just shouldn't be on Steam, because not many people have like Windows 98 or 2000 or Millennium or anything anymore, or Windows 94 or even DOS. There's just not a lot of that around, so there's no real point. You're not going to sell a game. XP is still common enough, and you can buy XP towers for quite cheap if you really want to play these games. But yeah, they should put them, if they're not going to do the whole optimization thing, they should put them into their own sort of category, or do what they do with early access, which is have a big bright label and says, hey, this game only works on such and such an operating system, or will only work on the newest operating system to work on is such and such an operating system like XP or whatever. And then people would know going in, and then if they bought it and then negatively reviewed it because it didn't work on their Windows 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, there's no 9 system, then they have no real reason to complain. Steven can remove these kinds of reviews because they are fraudulent, because people are stupid. Now, in the case of Dust 12, many people have commented saying that it does work on XP systems, or if you go in and tweak a lot of stuff that just your average user is not going to know how to do. So somebody who just wants to play a game says, oh, that kind of, this game kind of looks like an early, Fallout game or whatever, and I want to play it. So they buy it, and they can't, because it won't fucking work on their, Windows 8 system. That is something that I think should be implemented to prevent this kind of thing, to prevent games from getting unfair reviews on Steam. Now, I have never been able to get Dust 12 to work. I don't think I ever will be able to get Dust 12 to work, because I just simply don't have the time to go and buy an XP system, hook it all up, and go through that whole shit. So I'll never probably give it a proper review. However, I could never get it working, and there's not that system in place, so my review, as far as I'm concerned, is still valid, because the only thing that Steam has that says that it might not work on a Windows 7 system is if you scroll down to the system requirements, which it has a very small, highlighted type of thing saying the OS and stuff, which is XP is the most modern that it says on there, and that's the only thing that really points towards it not possibly working on, say, a Windows 7 system, and that is not okay. That's not the only thing that should be. Either the system requirements should be more prevalent on games like these, that it's not going to work on Windows 7. That's just my opinion on that. I think that this is a thing that should be put in place, because like this game is very much roundly negative on Steam. There's not a lot of reviews, to be fair. There's only like 50, I think, something like that. Let me see on the Steam page here. 49, so almost 50, and it's mostly negative. 32 of those are negative, and only 17 positive. And it seems like most of these are people saying that they're like, I love Dust 12, it was shit. But, you know, it was shit like shit games that are fun type of shit, not shit games that are boring type of shit. Those are the only, like, positive reviews. And, yeah, so it's, I don't know, it's interesting, the debate, and I thank him for commenting, because I never even really thought about this beforehand. But yeah, I see Gameplay Share's point. However, I think it's not the user, I think it's the platform that it's on that should be more prevalent with saying, hey, look, this might not work on your system, feel free to buy it, but it might not work. And with Steam refund and stuff, that's a bit less risky, but I don't know. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'm always interested to know what's going through your guys' head with this kind of stuff, and what you think about the idea of doing that, making older games more prevalent, that it might not work on modern systems, or having Steam require optimization, or you know, one of the two, they're given an option, whatever. Just an idea. Let me know what you think. And that's it for me. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you all next time. Peace.